Hey everyone, this is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. If you are not 18 years or older, this video content is not intended for you. Welcome to my messy countertop. Um, I have a project share today for Scrapdiva Designs, and I actually played with a combination of dies. One of the ones I had been wanting to play, but I was really thinking on it because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to create. So it was the Love mini album, and I was confused when I first shared this. I said you had a left and a right, and it's not that way at all. You have a layering piece that doesn't have stitching, that has the holes, and then in the back you have another one, but it's exactly the same size, the same, it cuts in the same, facing up. There's no front or back, it's all one-sided. But this one, you have an option if you want a stitching detail. It is not a layering piece. It is the exact same size as the one that doesn't have the stitching detail. But then you do get a layering piece that does not have the holes, and that is the layering, or mats and layers to it. And then of course you get the love, and the love, it cuts them all out separately, and it does cut the heart out of the O. And then in the back you get the one that has the wider cut openings for it, and that's because that's designed to create a shaker. So if you wanted to create a shaker with this, then you would cut this and layer it up and to create the shaker. So that's why this one has this type of cutting edge and the other side does not, because one is to create a shaker. So that's what you get here, and this is the main die that I played with. I will link everything in the description box below. Please keep in mind that if you purchase items using the links that I provide in the description box below, means that I will make a small commission, and that helps me to be able to purchase more items that I can share with you guys on my channel. More products, because most of my products, I pay for them. Not Scrapdiva. Erica was generous enough to send me a design team package as a guest designer, so I didn't have to pay for these dies. But most of the things that I share with you, I do pay for them myself. So anyway, here is the main die that I used. From this set, I used the 2 heart tags. So that's what I use from this set. And these are the heart soap pump shaker. So you make shakers out of this. I use these as tags. And these are like a hang tag. And I'll share with you how I used it. Out of the file folder mini album, I did use the corners right here. I used that window creator that you open up and the layering piece to it. And I also used the cutting die to create a slit or a pocket. I used this one and this one back here, the bracket looking one. And I used the little heart swing tab as well. That's what I used out of this one. And then out of this, the heart and arrow straw topper, I did use the hearts, and I used the smaller of the arrow, on this one. So I want to share what I created with you guys. I hope that you like what I created. I have seen what other people have been making with it, and I wanted to put a different twist on it. You guys know that my taste in papers is very different. But I wanted to make this into a wedding mini album. Look at how pretty that is, you guys. It came out gorgeous. I am pleasantly surprised, because I didn't know if I could create something that would look different than what everybody else was doing just by changing up the paper. But I love how it looks so elegant. I really do love the way this album came out. So what I did first is I cut the part that does not have the stitching, and I cut it out. I cut it out 3 times for the cover because one, I wanted it to be extra sturdy. Two, I knew I wanted to add lace over it, and I wanted to sandwich the raw edges of the lace in between 2 layers of paper where it would be really, really clean. And when I did that, it didn't look smooth, you know, it was a little lumpy. Even though I trimmed away the excess and all of that, it still didn't look as nice as I wanted it to look. So I cut another layer, and that one I embossed, because when you emboss something, it takes away from bumps, it takes away from scratches that are left on the paper, or if you happen to put a score mark in it by mistake, it takes all that away, and all you see is the beautiful embossing. So that's how I camouflage things when I don't get the results that I like. This particular one is I cut out, after I had done that, I was going to add shaker bits underneath the lace, and I forgot. And I had closed it all up. I didn't want to tear it. I didn't want to ruin it. So what I did was I just glued shaker bits here and there on top of the lace, because I have lace that does have sequin like that on top, and it looks gorgeous. So I love the way it looks. I didn't use any of the letters that to go back in here, but I did use the letters. Let me share it with you. I did use the silhouette, the layering piece right here that doesn't have the holes, and the letters together to create the opening that I have there, because I wanted it to have the word love. And I used a cream pearl paper that some of the ladies here that watch my channel have asked me where I got it, and the reason I haven't linked it is because it's not available. As soon as I find something that looks pretty close to this, I will purchase it myself for me, but I will share the link with you guys as well. So anyway, I wanted that stitched edge, and then I wanted the openings to the letters. This one right here, I did put the O. The heart is the O in the word love, and I put the heart back on dimensionals, and I only added like a piece here, a piece down here, and a little piece over here, because the recipient, I wanted them to be able to put a picture in the cover. I mean, nowadays you have a bunch of friends that hang around together, and you know, the guy and the girl, and they're all mutual friends, and they go different places, whether it's to eat or different events or do things, to vacation together, whatever. And they have mutual friends where the bridesmaid will be friends not only to the bride, but I mean, not the bridesmaid, the maid of honor. It's not only a friend to the bride, but to the groom as well. And they have pictures where they're all in a group and events and all that. So, you know, I felt like this was a great way for a maid of honor, or even a bridesmaid, to give to the bride something that was more personal. So anyway, then she could fill it up with some pictures, not fill it up, but you know, a picture here and there. And there could be a picture of the bride and groom on the front cover. So that's why I left this like that, where they could stick a picture in there. This flower right here was a gift from my friend Jacqueline. Let me hold it up like this. From my friend Jacqueline, and she gifted me some die cuts. So I used the flower here. The only thing I did to the flower was add gold stickles and iridescent stickles. This particular die here is a die in my stash. It says to a special couple. So I love the way that looks. Now I'm going to show you the back to this. See, there was, when I had covered up the back portion where I had the raw edges of my lace, even though I had trimmed it, it was kind of bumpy and lumpy, and I didn't like the way it looked. So I cut out another one, and I have one set of slimline embossing folders, which was perfect for this. So I embossed this and added it, glued it to the back. Now, I'm not completely done with this. I'm thinking of adding maybe some photo corners here where they could put a long, you know, a landscape photo Or I wish that I had something in my stash like a, you know, the film roll to the old movies where you have like the reel of film. That would have been great here for different pictures, but I didn't have anything like that. So I left it blank. I left it with nothing, just embossed for now. And this particular side, this is where I use that file folder die to create this little window and to create the swing tabs. Here are the hearts with brads. So I added the swing tabs, but I didn't before I added the back, because I didn't want you to be able to see the brad. So I fixed this whole page the way I wanted it. I cut the pocket, everything. And then I added the matting paper to the back. That way you wouldn't see the brads. So you just swing this open. I think I smashed this one. You know what I did, guys? It's okay. I wanted to cut the pocket here after I had attached the brads, and I went too far with my machine and it smashed the brad. It pressed it down, so that's why it didn't stay, but it still stays closed because I have one on this side. And you just swing it open, and that opens the window right here to reveal a picture. So this is a spot for a picture. I did not glue this little tab down because that way they can tuck the picture in there. And this little piece right here comes with a file folder mini album, and that's the matting and to create that window. And so does the little heart swing tab, and you get 3 different styles in the swing tab. These flowers were gifted to me by Ramona. Y'all remember, I don't think she does very much on YouTube anymore. Her channel name was Cherish Treasures. I believe that's what it was. And she doesn't do any too much anymore, but these were gifted to me by her. Here's a scrap of that lace that I used for the front. I just tucked it in there. And then here is where I created one of those pockets. And I like to put the little piece that it cuts out back in place. That way it's not real noticeable. And you can tuck photos or anything in that pocket. So there is that pocket. So if I flip it to the back, I'm going to share this pocket with you guys. On this one, this paper was gifted to me by my friend Jacqueline as well. This paper that I'm using here is like a bridal type of paper, but I'm not going to link it because it's from Die Cuts with a View, and it's a very old paper pad. So I wouldn't be able to find it anymore. In this particular one, I created, I added the 3 hearts here, and these 2 on the side are tuck spots where they're not glued all the way down. So you could tuck some pictures or something in these little hearts. But if you're real good at creating, you know, a heart, cutting out a heart, you could definitely mount a picture on here on either side. The center one, I put it on dimensional tape. I did add this little metal piece to it because my colors were more of a neutral color. The creams, the tans, the golds. And gold was my accent color. To create this template for here, this is where I use the tabs that were in that shaker bottle. They make excellent tags, and you can have something to, you know, that sticks out where you can pull the tag in and out. So that's this little one here, and I cut 2 of them because I don't like the way the dies, the plates scratch up the paper. So I cut 2 and put them back to back. You could definitely write a little note here, or you could add pictures to both sides and flip it around. But I only put a rose on one side to kind of cover up, and then I cut out a circle to cover up that the ring, because it's not solid. It is open as it should be, but I wanted to cover that out. But this is my the template for this one, and it also can be used as the template for the front one. So that's what I did with that. I really like the way that came out. On this other side, I added, here's some more of that pretty paper, And here's another flower from Ramona. Thank you, Ramona. I really love these. And here's a couple of hearts that came out of these frames that I cut out. I didn't waste anything. I used everything. In this one, here is where I used that bracket pocket here. And then I just cut out some little tags. I have a set of tags that have the opening in the corners for if you want to insert a picture. Let me see if I can get this. Of course, this would take a tiny, tiny picture, but I hope you can see that it has the little cutout to tuck your photos in the corners. And I cut a couple of them, added some gold twine, and just tucked them in the pocket. Now, there is room for a picture here if the recipient wanted to add a picture there, or whatever, you know. So that's what I did there. Now I'm going to flip it. I didn't do too much on this side right here. This is a die cut from Anna Griffin that I had in my stash for a while. And when I'm working on things, I like to go back into my die cut notebook and see what I have available. On this one, I didn't do much of anything. I just added the beautiful paper that looks like damask wallpaper. I added this trim right here, and this die does have the silhouette, so it's got the silhouette in a ivory, pearl ivory, and then the metallic gold. These are supposed to be baskets of roses. Now I left this as a double pocket. You can actually tuck things behind. Let me see. I don't have anything back there, and it's hard to get in there with thick paper, but this is a pocket, a solid pocket from end to end. It is a pocket right here behind on the in the silhouette. And then right here where the roses are, the open work, that is also a pocket that you could tuck different things there, photos or different mementos that you kept from a trip, like tickets or anything. So that's there, even from their honeymoon. This one right here, this is another die that I had in my stash. It says Perfect Together. I added another piece of that leftover lace down here and one of the hearts that came out of one of the cutouts. Here is that same tag with the corners for the pictures, but a bigger one. It's a set of 3 that I have. Right here in the corner, this is from that file folder mini album folio. And I have one here and I have one here, but you can't see it because I stuck the rose on top of it, but it's there as a tuck spot. And I just tucked that tag in there so they could add a photo there, like of the bride and groom. So that's what I did there. On this side, I kind of messed up, guys. I wanted to do 2 pockets with the slots side by side. And one of the die moved on this side, so it's at an angle, and I didn't like the way it looks. But I always save that piece that goes in there and glue it back down, regardless whether I leave it a pocket or not. In this case, I just glued everything shut because it was crooked, and I didn't like the way it looks, and I knew it would bother me. So all I did here, see, there it is right there, the pocket, but it's at an angle. I added a die cut that was gifted to me by my friend Jacqueline. I do not own this die, but she sent me a bunch of die cuts, and these are layered up. These are dimensional. And I created a tuck spot in this corner to cover up my boo-boo right there. And again, here is that medium-sized tag with the cutouts for the photos in the corners. And this makes a beautiful tuck spot. Right here is my straight pocket, and I kept that one because it was straight. But this right here is also a tuck spot. So I just cut these 2 pieces apart. Added one on this side and one in this corner. And this too is a tuck spot that you could put another photo there or anything like that. But it is open to add something there. And here is, I just tied a little piece of lace to this little bitty photo tag. And it's in that pocket right there. But you see how it's not real noticeable because I glue that piece back down. So I really love doing that. I like the way it looks. Here is my last page. Now I was running out of ideas on what to do, and I wanted to stick with just Scrapdiva dies because at the end of the day, this is what the design team packages for. So I wanted to use her dies strictly is what I wanted to do, but I didn't have everything I needed. So for here, I cut out the silhouette that has the stitching, and the letters that I had left over from another die cut with the word love. This is where I put the letters. And I glued the L down completely because I don't know what I was thinking. But when I got to the V and the E, I thought, I should have left those open for tuck spots. So this is a tuck spot. The E is a tuck spot. So is the heart that's on top of here is a tuck spot. And this is what my vision was. I wanted to create an arrow here. So here's the arrow part, the feather part, and then here's the front to that straw topper. And I was going to put a belly band that went from this to this. And I guess I wasn't thinking, and I glued things down that I should have waited for. So I wasn't able to do that. But the arrow part over here, the feather part of the arrow, is a hidden paper clip. So that's actually a paper clip that's sandwiched in between two layers of feathers. I added some pearls, I added a little rose here, and this heart is not glued down at all. And they can add pictures here. It's just tucked into the paper clip to line up where it's supposed to go. So that's all that I did there, and I don't believe I did anything to the back. Here is the back. I haven't finished it. I don't know what I'm going to do to the back. I will see. I will see what I'm going to do. But here's another of that beautiful paper that my friend had gifted me. This was the last page, that piece of paper that I had. So I was, I used it sparingly. But anyway, that is what I created. I hope that this gives you ideas. I hope that it inspires you to make something like this. And remember, when you cut out extra things, extra die cuts, just build a notebook. Start building a collection. So anytime you cut things out, that they're not scattered on your table, they're not ruined. You put them in a nice binder with pockets, like those pockets that we use to do the ATC cards. Well, there's different size pockets, and that's what I use to put all my die cuts when I'm creating something and I don't use it. That's where I put them. But when I go to create again, that's what I pull out. That way I might have things that already match, like in this case the border strip from Anna Griffin, and I was able to use it here. So I really like that idea. But anyway, guys, this is what I created for Scrapdiva Designs. Look at how gorgeous that is. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone is having a great day. Remember to use the code C2C10 for 10% off. The C's in the C2C stand for created and create, and the 2 stands for created to create. The 10 is for the 10% off. So make sure to use that coupon. That way you save a little bit on shipping. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a great day, and God bless. Bye.